Hi, Mark here. It is Tuesday, October the 14th, 7:51 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 11:51 a.m. GMT. US session about to get underway. Let's have a look how the markets are shaping up this morning. Still, the after effects of Friday's announcement by Trump, the trade wars back on enormous, over 100% tariffs on China, and the market certainly did react. And there's the big sell-off we saw in the US dollar index on Friday. Bit of a fight back yesterday, continuing that fight back today. So US dollar is fighting its way back, and certainly on the front foot this morning. We're seeing demand in the US dollar index. I've got support at 98.80 and resistance at 99.22, looking to test this resistance as the US session does get underway. Let's have a look at the S&P. Major stock markets, US stock markets, certainly affected by the news last Friday on tariffs and the trade war. And there is the result, the huge sell-off we saw in the S&P. Fight back yesterday, a timid fight back to say the least, but selling continuing today. And I've got resistance at 6,717 and support already established at 6,606. So this is the futures market. Still a good hour and a half until Wall Street opens up. We'll see whether the selling is maintained once the markets open up, once the US session gets underway and Wall Street is open up. Alternatively, whether buyers do step in and look up at the 6,717 resistance level. Let's have a look at gold. Record day again yesterday for gold, in light of the uncertainty with the US dollar, equity markets. Gold, another record high yesterday, a new record high again today. You can see that 4,181 is resistance. I've got support at 4,089. So a strong $100 move already today going into the US session. But for now, looking at a doji candlestick, so sellers did step in off this resistance level and now sitting at the 4,130 level. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see buyers took it up to that resistance level, a big bearish engulfing candlestick, which we saw in the European session. We'll see if that can or does continue once the US session gets underway and sellers come and target the 4,089. Also, whether we see the inverse relationship play out. We are seeing strong US dollar going into the US session. Perhaps that will lead to more selling and gold being sold off and sellers looking down at the support level. Let's have a look at Brent oil. Sellers firmly in control here as well, following the big sell-up on Friday. Yesterday, although there was a gap up earlier to start, buyers weren't able to do much about the sell-off. Ended a little lower for the day, and today sellers again in control. I've got support at a very low $61.47. I've got resistance at 63.62. We'll see whether sellers continue with that. And if I just scroll all the way back, you can see that the support level we're seeing today, last time we saw these levels was in May earlier this year, the 7th of May. It's a long time ago. Let's see whether buyers do step in or whether the selling does continue once the US session gets underway. And probably the biggest move we saw last Friday was Bitcoin over $15,000. Bitcoin came down from around 122,000 all the way down to 106,000. Buyers have tried to step in on the weekend, a little bit on Sunday. Yesterday, not much, but sellers stepped in again today. I've got resistance at 115.5 thousand and support at 110,000. Little wick here, buyers perhaps of the support, a bit of a bounce, but certainly downtrend is firmly in place. Um, Sellers firmly in control, and we'll see whether they do. Sellers test this 110,000 and hang around the 110,000 level, or whether buyers are able to bounce up from here and get back to that 115,000 resistance level. We do have levels. We can see US dollar has started strong today. We'll see whether that can be maintained. S&P off to a weak start and selling off during the futures market. Gold also record high today, but has come off those high levels. Oil being sold off and Bitcoin being sold off. Good trading. Keep that discipline today, and I'll see you at the end of day session.